Plant the crops efficiently, just like the Incans of Machu Picchu. Build large crops or block opponents' crops in Urubamba Valley.
And today we'll be teaching you how to play Urubamba Valley, game designed by Jeffrey CCH and published by Broadway Toys.
And hello everyone, it's Stella.
And Taryn from Meeple University.
Okay, let's go to the classroom.
In Urubamba Valley, players are Incan farmers competing against each other to earn their fortune. Players will invest in seeds, technologies and specialists, and work collectively to build up large farms in the different crops. However, in a careful game of tactics, it's the particular farms you choose to build which will earn you the most money. Whoever can plant and harvest most efficiently, by the time all the terraces are full, will be the winner. To set up, assemble the main board. Place the money at the bottom. Place the 1 coin lock tile here and the 2 coin lock tile here. Then place a white alpaca in each of these 2 squares. Shuffle and place the stacks of level 1, 2 and 3 specialist tiles and deal 5 level 1 specialist tiles face up into the market. Next you'll set up the player colours and the seeds. In the game there are 6 different crops represented by these seed tiles. The 5 basic crop types, potatoes, peas, chilies, lavender and corn, each correspond to one of the player boards and player colours. The 6th crop, the vines, behave a little bit differently and they're not used during setup. Each player takes 1 player screen, 1 copy of the matching seed tile, the matching player board on which you'll place your starting seed tile, 3 coins, which you may hide behind your screen, and your 4 matching coloured meeples, one of which goes at 0 on the harvest track, with the others going to this space at the bottom of the board. You will not use the meeples in non-player colours, but you will always use technology cubes in all 5 colours. The total number of cubes of each colour used is 1 fewer than the player count, so return any that you don't need to the box. Then from those, all players take 1 technology cube in their own colour and place it onto this space of their player boards. At 4 players there'll be 1 player board left unchosen and its matching seed tile, which you'll place under the alpaca in the lower terrace, and at 3 players you'll have 2 left with the other going under the upper alpaca. Take another copy of each of the 5 player seed types, shuffle them up and place them in the seed market. Mix all remaining seed tiles in the cloth bag and finish filling the market. If you ever draw a vine tile, place it into this 2nd column, this is specifically for vines, and keep drawing until you have a completely filled non-vine market. Place the 2 grey alpacas in the reserve in the corner, choose a first player, and you're now ready to play. Urubamba Valley is played in turns, starting from the first player and going clockwise around the table. On each turn you'll take 1 action, and you have 4 different actions you can choose from. You may plant. Take a seed tile from your player board, plant it legally onto the terraces, and earn harvest points. You may harvest. Gain the money based on the current position of your meeple and return to the start of the harvest track. You may purchase. Invest the money that you've earned by making any number of purchases of new seed tiles, new technology cubes, or specialist tiles from around the board. Or you may work to gain 1 coin. It's the player with the most money when the entire terrace is full who will win. So you want to get as much money as efficiently as you can and invest it wisely in more money earning tiles. So now let's have a look at each action in detail. The first action is plant, and here you'll plant 1 seed tile from your player board into the common farm. You may choose only seed tiles for which you have the matching coloured technology cube on your player board. Or you may choose vines. These have no associated technology cube. So in this case, red's choices would be the chili or the vine. where it would need the green technology cube to be allowed to plant the peas. Take the tile and place it into a legal square on the main board. At its most basic, this means any empty square, that is one not already containing a tile, and which is adjacent either to the river or to any previously placed tile. Note that this doesn't include the tiles which were placed under alpacas during setup. You would not be able to place adjacent to one of these tiles unless it had been previously connected to the river through other placed tiles. You can place under an alpaca if the alpaca was standing on empty grass. Once a seed tile has been placed, it becomes farmland producing that crop. And if multiple matching seed tiles are orthogonally adjacent to each other, they become one large farmland in that crop. After placing your seed, score 1 harvest point for each tile currently in the farmland that you just added to, plus an additional harvest point for each alpaca on that farmland. So with this tile placement, you've made a size 2 farmland, and it would move your meeple to score 2 harvest points. This placement would result in a size 3 farmland with 1 alpaca. So whoever placed it would score 4 harvest points. The maximum harvest points you can have at any time is 7. So if green placed this for 5 harvest points, green would gain 3 but lose the rest. Vines score harvest points differently to the 5-player crops. Anytime you place a vine tile, you gain 2 harvest points, regardless of the size of the farmland. You do not gain any bonus for alpacas in vine farms. The second action is harvest, and here is where you'll cash in the harvest points you've gained for money. Simply take the amount of money printed on the current space of your meeple and then return your meeple to 0 on the track. The third action is purchase. With a single purchase action, you may make any number of purchases off the board of 3 types: seed tiles, specialist tiles, or technology cubes. Technology cubes are what you need to plant different types of seeds. Pay the amount of money shown in the next box of your player board. Choose a colour of technology that you don't currently have, take it from the market, and add it to your board. There are 5 different types of technology. You have space for only 4, and there's 1 fewer of each colour of cube than there are players in the game, so make sure you make your choices strategically. To purchase seeds, choose any seed tile from the market and pay its cost. 1 coin, 2 coins, or 3 coins for the player seeds, or 2 coins for vines. Upon purchasing the tiles, leave empty spaces in the market for now. Store each tile in one of the 3 warehouse spaces of your player board. These 2 spaces here can only be unlocked by a special tile. You may freely discard a seed tile to make space for another, placing your discards into this pile. You may buy a seed if you lack its technology, you just can't plant it. Your third option is to purchase face-up specialist tiles. Pay the cost printed at the top of the tile, plus an additional coin if in one of the spaces showing so. Then place it into one of your specialist tile slots on your player board. You may hold at most 3 specialists at a time, and may freely discard one to make space for another, placing the discards in this pile, unless your tile specifically forbids you from discarding it. Any unbolded text on one of these tiles is a passive effect, which you'll now have for as long as you possess that tile. Any bold text with this down arrow is a once-off immediate effect, which you'll gain as soon as you gain the tile. And tiles may have both. This one has an immediate effect and then an ongoing passive effect. If the tile has bold text with this one icon, then it's a once-off effect, but you get to choose when to resolve it. Take one of your meeples from the market, place it next to that specialist, and then when you choose to use that specialist's one-off ability, return that meeple back to the market. Finally, note that this amount of money at the bottom of each tile represents the amount of money you'll gain at the end of the game for still having that tile on your player board. Once you've finished making as many purchases as you'd like, your turn ends. Replenish the market by sliding all of the player crops down and refilling from the bag, moving vines to the vine market as usual. And if the bag's ever empty, then shuffle all of the discarded tiles back into the bag. Then slide all of the specialist tiles down as far as they'll go and refill from the top of the lowest numbered deck remaining in play. Your final action is work. You may take this action only if you have no money, and the action is simply to gain 1 coin from the supply. As the game progresses, players will move further and further up the main board. The first time somebody wants to place a seed tile on the second level of the terrace, they must pay to unlock the terrace. Take this tile and pay the amount of money shown. So here it would be 1 coin. Then choose a helper, that is, choose any other player. That player must also pay the same amount, 1 coin, and has no choice in the matter. If the chosen helper has no money, then the player keeps this tile in front of their player board until they next gain money, and the next coin gained must be spent removing this tile. Once the new level is unlocked, it's unlocked for everybody. That is, anyone can now place tiles in here. And as soon as it's unlocked, you'll discard the bottom seed from the main market and replenish. Discard the bottom 3 tiles from the specialist market. Discard all remaining level 1 specialist tiles and replenish. When the top level is unlocked, that will cost both the unlocker and the helper 2 coins, and likewise sweeps 1 tile from the seed market, and 3 tiles plus all remaining level 2 specialists from the specialist market. The game ends once there are no longer any empty spaces remaining on the board. That is, when each space contains a seed tile, an alpaca, or a meeple. And bear in mind that these pieces get placed or moved by means of various specialist tiles. Players take 1 final turn in which they must harvest. A player at 0 simply gains nothing from this final turn. Then give each player the endgame money on the bottoms of their specialist tiles. The player with the most money wins. If tied, whoever has the most remaining seed tiles wins, and if still tied, victory is shared. And that's how to play Urubamba Valley.
And thanks so much for watching. Your like and comments are much appreciated. Subscribe to see what's coming, and hopefully you have a great day. See you next time.